A covered call trade is something a lot of traders start out with. Buy a stock, sell or call against it. And as I've said in other videos, it's not about hedging or generating income, although, yeah, maybe it's that to you. But I see it as a trader as a way to reduce the cost basis of a long stock position. Or even if I buy a call and a further expiration date as a stock replacement, it's a way to, selling a front month call against it is a way to reduce the cost basis of that long call. So it serves the same basic, function for different positions. But the question is, well, how long should you hold on to that short call? And what I want to talk about today is the old way we did on the floor, to make it simple, before we had computers and all that sort of thing. And it's still a very fast way to evaluate what to do with that short call. And well, the answer is conceptually, you hold it until that short call stops working for you, till it stops serving its purpose. Well, all right, what does that actually mean? Let's start off with a very simple trade. So I just have IBM loaded up here, just for the sake of example. And let's say I bought 100 shares here, and a short call, I might go out to 39 days. Just a regular expiration, no weeklies or anything. Maybe I'll sell the 250 call against it. Covered call, buy stock, sell call, and it would look something like this. Now, what I want you to focus on is this price right here. So 645 to 655, the bid-ask spread for that 250 call. And the mid price is 655. So let's use 655 as our working number. By the way, if you want a quick way to see that, I can just go right here, and the mid price is right there. The software makes it easy to see this information. Now, if I sell this call, and if nothing else changes but time, in other words, IBM just sits here at 236.20, volatility doesn't change, but time passes, what I assume, or what can happen, and let me tighten up the strikes here, that 250 call with 39 days, if I hold on to it for 2 weeks, it's going to look like the 25-day call does right now. So, all of the things being equal, stock price is the same, volatility is the same, dividend yields the same, interest rates, all that stuff, but mostly stock price and volatility. If those things are roughly the same, that 250 call is probably going to be worth about 480 in 2 weeks. So it's going to go from 655 theoretically down to about 460. So I make about $2 on that trade? Not bad, not bad. If I hang on to it for another week, from 25 days, if I go from 2 weeks down to 21 days, they're gonna look like this 18-day option right here. And the 250s, oh geez, I gotta bring in some more strikes here. The 250 calls in that case are gonna be 312. Half of what they're worth with 39 days. Again, that's assuming the stock price doesn't rally, assuming volatility doesn't go up too much. They're going to be worth about half of what they are today. So the question you have to answer when you're selling calls against long stock is, would I sell this 250 call right here for $3.12 with 18 days to go? And maybe you'd hold on to it, maybe you wouldn't, right? But this is, if you wanted to maintain this position, if you wanted to consistently sell out of the money calls to reduce the cost basis of your long stock, what you could expect then is, I'm going to sell another 250 call. So if I sell this 250 call right here with 39 days and 3 weeks pass, 21 days pass, and now my 250 call has 18 days and is worth $3.11, I can buy that back for less than half of what I sold it for. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take whatever scenario I'm looking at. So how many are 39 days, 39-day options available? Maybe, let's clear this out. Maybe I have to look at 46 days, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a new option to sell. So I buy back the option that I sold, the call option that I sold, book a profit on that trade, and then look to sell another call. And I'm going to use the same decision-making process. Maybe I'll sell the 250 call and collect $8 of credit at this time. So maybe I'll go out to 46 days, or maybe I'll go back to 39 days and hope to get about $6.50 for it. So what I'm doing is I'm not using any theoretical pricing calculators. I'm not pulling out a canned calculator. I'm not doing anything like that. What I'm doing is using the current option prices, what the market is showing me, to map out a possible path for managing that short call. So is it guaranteed to work this way? Absolutely not. If the stock rallies up from 236 up past 250, that's kind of a first-class problem to have. You're maximizing, the value of the stock versus your short call, right? And if the stock goes up past 250, the short call and the long stock, the P&L offsets, so there's no risk to the upside in that case. But you have a profitable stock trade on at that point. So if the stock drops, right? If the stock drops and this 250 call gets cheaper faster, then what I can do is roll it out to a further expiration, maybe to a lower strike, and get back into generating that, let's say, $6.50 credit. Okay, so using option information like this is a good way for a trader, especially a new trader who's just sort of working out how these things work. Is it gives you an idea of what you could expect to happen when you sell that call, maybe capture some profit on it, and have to roll out to another expiration. None of this is a trade recommendation, whether covered calls or buying and further call option, selling a call against it, whether that is a stock replacement, whether that is a good strategy for you or not, you have to decide for yourself and on what stocks. I'm not suggesting you do this on IBM, but if you do trade and make these choices, please use a smart strategy and do not take any more risk than you are comfortable with.